Indian wildlife. To many it conjures up images of the tiger, perhaps elephant, maybe leopard. But none of those fascinate me quite as much as some of the lesser known species, those that have been scantily recorded, not often photographed, not often given attention to, the less known but as much perhaps more interesting species, the mystery species of India. And one such bird I am going to tell you about today is as much a predator as a tiger or a leopard, but it is almost unknown to most people. This is the collared pygmy owlet. Now, the collared pygmy owlet inhabits these middle Himalayan forests of Uttarakhand, where I am in the western Himalaya. I am at 7,500 feet altitude, and it has an extensive range from here, from the western Himalaya through the eastern Himalaya, Bhutan, Arunachal, all the way through China, Taiwan, and even Borneo. So, the collared pygmy owlet is a tiny little owl, perhaps the smallest owl in the world. It is just under 6 inches tall and about 60 grams in weight. And it is one hell of a predator because it can take on prey that is almost its own size and weight, perhaps even a little more. It is fond of lizards, mice, small birds, crickets, locusts, and even cicadas. The forests around me are full of cicadas at this time of year. This is monsoon time, and I am actually looking around me to make sure I do not pick up any leeches. It is monsoon time here at 7,500 feet up in the western Himalaya. The forests are very populated with cicadas at this time, and in the evening there is a cacophony of cicada calls from the oak trees around me. Now, this cliff face here is covered in various grasses and even the purple flowering Roscoia purpurea, which is a sort of a ground orchid found here in the western Himalaya, but it is also admixed with a bunch of dahlia flowers, and the mists are swirling up the valley from below, and we are seeing daily rainfall here. And the collared pygmy owlet loves this kind of habitat here, mixed oak, broadleaf, rhododendron forest with a scattering of deodar, the Himalayan cedar, and a range of other middle Himalayan trees. Now, the collared pygmy owlet here is not active by night as much as it is active by daytime. So, it is diurnal and crepuscular. What a fun word. Crepuscular means it is active at sunrise and sunset, so during twilight. And this collared pygmy owlet hunts around in these forests for its prey. And this year we had a very exciting sighting. I have been following the collared pygmy owlet for about 30 years in these forests, and this year we actually found a nest of the collared pygmy owlet, which is a very rare occurrence. We have been looking for a nest and we have not found one all these years. It was situated about 8 feet up from the ground in the hollow of a tun tree. The tun is a local Himalayan tree, Cedrela serrata, I think, and no, Cedrela tuna. And it was in a hollow of the tree, which was obviously previously excavated by a barbet or a woodpecker, and the chicks inside were being fed by lizards and small birds and rats, mice. And we photographed the food being brought in by the parents. We didn't disturb them. We sat in a hide next to the nest and filmed the food being brought in. We filmed some slow motion footage, which you're going to see here. The collared pygmy owlet has a wonderful little call and sits up lonely on a tree, often for lengths of time during the day, and making its call known, and the sound carries for kilometers afar as it sits and proclaims its territory. It's a 4-note call, very familiar to people who've been to the western or the eastern Himalaya. Goes somewhat like this. This hauntingly beautiful 4-note call comes from one of the smallest predators, one of the smallest owls in the world, the collared pygmy owlet, a mysterious and very little known owl of the Himalaya. It's sunning itself on this oak tree in early morning light. And every time it stops calling, I call back to it and it starts over again. And it starts over again calling. And it just goes on and on for lengths of time, calling out like that across the mountains. And it's a wonderful little sound because it brings with it a sense of the Himalayan wilderness and the outdoors of the mountains of India and the forests. And its remarkable range makes it a truly international species because it's found not just in the Himalaya but across Southeast Asia as well.